Hello and thank you for joining us. A new chapter, a new episode in this documentary series with people that are having very unique stories in their spiritual journey. We're delighted from here, from India, from Mount Abu, Rajasthan, to host here Yogesh from Turkey. Hello to you, Yogesh.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming and finding the time during the Peace of Mind retreat. If you would pick one moment in your spiritual journey that was the most meaningful, the most profound in your life, what moment would you choose, Yogesh?
Oh, that's such a big question. There are so many.
The first one that rise up.
Yeah, I think one of the most profound turning points for me was when I was about 14 or 15 years old. This is back in the mid-80s. At that time in the UK, there was lots in the news about all the problems in Africa, about famine and lack of rainfall and so on. And you may have remembered Live Aid and Band Aid, those kinds of concerts.
I was sitting there in front of the TV, cheering and...
Yeah. So, you know, I was 14 or 15 and I really wanted to do something to help the world. But then it just became clear to me that trying to solve problems by throwing money at them is like cutting off the branches of the tree of problems. And I had this kind of insight that I want to work on the roots of the tree, and the roots of the tree of problems in that kind of vision I had was things like ego and possessiveness and anger and greed and so on. And it just felt to me that this is the thing to do, and I want to dedicate my energies to help to remove the tree from its roots, to be part of an education, firstly to work on myself, and also to help to share an understanding with other people, how they can overcome these things within themselves. That was a turning point for me.
So at the age of 14, 15, you came to the understanding that basically you want to go to an educational venue?
Yeah, I was already attending our meditation center since the age of 8 or 9.
Wow.
So I was kind of exposed to these ideas. But
at the age of 8?
Yeah. But, you know, you don't understand too much, of course, as a child. But as I grew up as a teenager, I began to think more, what kind of life do I want to live? And it became clear that I wanted to live a life of response to the human condition, to the world condition.
Yet, Yogesh, this was kind of internal declaration. When you're doing your path, you told yourself, Eureka, this is it. Now I'm converting myself towards a better seed grower, planter. When was this moment?
Yeah. For me, it was like, you know, a series of confirmations. So for me, there was, I suppose, never a question of any other kind of life, because it just felt natural to me to follow a spiritual lifestyle where I received a lot of love from, you know, from this spiritual family. But I guess when I first came to this place, to Madhuban, to Mount Abu, and I was 15 at that time, this was in December 82, I was just struck by the amount of real, genuine, pure, healthy love I was receiving from the brothers and the sisters here. Because, you know, when you're 15, people are confused with how to deal with you. You're no longer a cute kid, but you're not yet an adult to have a deep conversation with. So people kind of say hi and bye very quickly. But when I was here first time, I just felt this genuine love and respect from the brothers and sisters here. They, as a soul, they were giving me pure love as a soul, and I felt I should be like these people. This is the way to be.
Give me an example. For people that never went to India, or they're just thinking about going to India or going to a spiritual journey in the, back home, how did they express love to a 15-year-old guy that really touches your heart?
Yeah. Within that love, there was a genuine respect for me as an individual, as a person, as someone with my own identity. But also, it wasn't the love in which they were trying to be my best friend or somehow trying to, so that I should do some favors for them. Within that love, there was also a detachment. You know, we call it being detached and loving. So I felt that love was also empowering me to bring the best out of me, rather than to make me dependent on them. And I felt it was very clean love. And I felt that's, you know, this is the love that's missing in the world. Certainly in, you know, the friends and relatives that I had known up until then, I had not experienced that quality of love from other people.
Could you be so kind to verbalize the example of pure love for people that are not acquainted with brothers and sisters? For them, brothers and sisters, they are guys that they are at home. Sometimes they love them, sometimes they wouldn't speak with brothers and sisters. So pure love, if you could sculpture it with words, how I felt it.
I said there's a principle in pure love. I think you can care, you can share, you can support, you can help, you can advise, you can guide, but you cannot possess. I think pure love is that which wants you to be the best you, without any fingerprints on it, without trying to possess you, without trying to have any, you know, hidden conditions underneath. And I cannot separate pure love from respect. I think those two are like intertwined very much together. That within pure love there's a respect for who you are, and I want you to be the best that you can be. So I felt that from so many senior yogis over the years. It took a while to understand that is pure love, because normally, you know, we kind of get used to emotional love or this kind of soppy love, you know. But I didn't find that with these senior yogis. And initially it was like I was wondering, is this kind of detachment, or does this person not value me? But after a while I realized that it's the love which helps me to bring the best of me out of me.
You're mentioning love so many times. One of the questions that might arise, what about the spiritual journey and romantic love? Family, wife, kids, as they used to have outside. What is your personal perspective regarding that?
Well, I think the first thing, even with any kind of relationship with any person, the first thing is I need to have a good relationship with myself. Self-love, a healthy self-love. And I think what sometimes happens, or maybe often happens, is that people have not established a solid self-relationship and self-love. Then they use another person as a substitute for themselves in their relationship with themselves. And so what often happens there is when a person may say in the romantic sense, I love you, I think mostly what they're saying is, I need you, I want you to fill that void in me to make me feel good. And so what happens then, when the other person is no longer able to do that, then the energy of love converts into anger or even hate.
Hatred,
you know,
divorce.
Well, yeah, and that's what I call as emotional love, which is the lowest form of love. But spiritual love, or love as a feeling, is the highest form of love. And I think that's the result of having a solid self-relationship in which I accept myself, I appreciate myself, I know myself, I value myself. And then what comes out of me, almost as an overflow, is love towards others and to the world.
Another question would be regarding money. Money runs the world, as the song says. Maybe yes, maybe not, maybe this is part of the lessons. A person like you, that you are on a spiritual journey, are you dreaming, or are you already a billionaire? Would you like to create lots of money? Or you're saying, hey, come on, Netanel, it has nothing to do with that. Please let me eat my chapati here in India and Turkey, and I love it. Let's keep it simple.
I mean, money is an energy. You know, we need it to travel, to live, to pay bills, and so on.
So how did it come to this magical world? If the spiritual world is about pure love, would talking about money or bringing money to work to pay the bills, the light, and everything,
Yeah.
the centers, how did this magic works?
Well, the thing is, when you earn money, what's important is your consciousness, your attitude behind the doing. So if I earn with honesty, with integrity, with my own dignity, I will always have whenever I need something. Now, I may earn a lot, for example, you know, through corrupt means. I may steal from you, I may cheat you, you may not even realize it. But because I have done something which is, let's say, against the highest value system, there'll be a fear in me that at some point somebody will take it away from me. So what we say here is, yes, we need money, you know, we need energy, we need money, but it should be earned with the right consciousness, with the right attitude. And you know, one of the people I know who lived to the age of 104, maybe you know her, she was one of our global heads, you know, she would say that I've never wasted money, I've never wasted time, I never wasted energy. And therefore, she always had whenever there was a need. She always felt an abundance.
I presume you're talking about Daddy Janki.
Daddy Janki, yeah.
Yes, I had the privilege of giving and being with her for a long interview.
Okay.
And what for people that are away from the spiritual journey and they are listening to you right now,
Yeah.
and you're saying when the intentions are clean, money will always come. I will ask their question. How? How would it come?
From some unexpected direction. So for example,
In your life.
Huh?
In your life, in your centers.
yeah. So for example, somebody you haven't seen for a long time will suddenly say, I'd like to support you in this way. You know, with some money for a certain project, for example. Suddenly he phones and you haven't seen him for 10 years. He says, hey, you know, I haven't seen you guys for a long time. I'd like to make a contribution, for example, to your center for a program. Or you get an opportunity to do some extra work, some overtime work, and suddenly you have a chance to earn some more money. Like, you know, life delivers to the person whose heart is clean and whose intention is pure. So I believe that, you know, there are various forms of wealth in the world. The lowest form of wealth is money. Higher forms of wealth are blessings, having a clean heart, having pious thoughts. And I think that if we honor the higher forms of wealth, the lower form of wealth will come to you. Now, it doesn't mean you'll be a billionaire, but you always have what you need. And there'll be a quiet confidence at a moment of need. From somewhere, it will come.
You know, there is two words in Hebrew that are very much similar. One of them in Hebrew, ruach, means spirit, and revach, which is very, very close, means profit. And we very much believe that ruach comes before revach, spirit comes before profit.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
One spiritual dream that you would like to accomplish in the coming year, or 5 year, Yogesh, or 10 years, something that you are dreaming that you would love to accomplish?
Well, I guess I can only talk about my own self, you know, in terms of my own journey and my journey towards what we may call as egolessness, my journey towards a spiritual high stage. So I'm hoping I can continue to dissolve whatever ego remains in the soul and continue to emerge my own divinity and be an instrument for the big guy, for the divine source to share love and goodness and happiness with others wherever it may be, anywhere in the world. So it's important for me to be useful, and if I can increase my capacity of being useful, then I'd say it's a meaningful life for me, and it's a dream that will be fulfilled.
So towards this, the end of this episode, together perhaps we'll take together a few seconds of silence.
Sure. Okay.
Yogesh from Turkey, here in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, India. I want to thank you very much for your kind words and very, very specific explanations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also we would like to thank you for being with us here, also from India, on ContentoNow TV.